What I'm going to drive today isn't exactly a Bolt from the blue, but rather it is the Bolt from Tata Motors. And if this looks familiar to you, then it has every reason to, because this is just a sibling of the Zest, a car that Tata Motors launched just a few months back. This is based on the same Indica H1 platform, and there are a lot of similarities between this and the Zest. But then there is one big difference also. And the big difference is that while the Zest remains a full-blown 3-box sedan, the Bolt here is a proper hatchback. And with the launch of the Bolt here, Tata Motors is offering you a complete solution. You can actually choose the body style depending on exactly what you need, while the cars remain the same in terms of both mechanicals as well as the platform, and even the design looks very similar. But this is a clever thing to do because it helps bring down the cost. Tata Motors had launched the Zest in July this year to ensure that they have a slice of the pie in the mid-segment. And now it's the turn of the Bolt, essentially the same car but being a hatch more compact in terms of dimensions. The Bolt will enable Tata Motors to offer a choice in a segment which is the busiest in the Indian automobile market. Tata has been present here with the Indica earlier and then later with the Indica Vista. But now it's the Bolt which Tata would hope will attract some attention from the buyers. Being small has its advantages. Not only it becomes more drivable in crowded city traffic, but also it should have a lower price tag, making it more affordable. And the Bolt should be able to do both these with ease. Like the Zest, the Bolt 2 would be available with both the petrol and the diesel engines. And what I'm driving right now is the 1.2-litre petrol, the Wwatch engine which Tata has developed in-house. In fact, the engine remains the same for both the Bolt and the Zest, and they give out identical power output of 90 bhp as max power and 140 Newton meters of torque. The engine is mated to a 5-speed manual transmission, which actually does a fine job of shifting and slotting in. And in fact, the gearing is quite tall, so you don't really have to shift even in city traffic. The engine here is tuned more for fuel efficiency rather than for outright performance. And in this sense, I am a little disappointed because the fuel efficiency you are getting is a little over 17 kilometers to a litre. In a car like this, I would have expected a better fuel efficiency because today the norm is around 20 kilometers to a litre even for petrol engines for the hatchback segment. As in the Zest and the Bolt 2, you get 3 driving modes: the Eco, the City, and of course the Sport if you want to drive it like a high-performance car. Obviously, the City mode and the Eco mode will maximize your fuel efficiency, and this is what you should use while you're driving inside the city on an everyday basis. Actually, on the highway, you can put it on the Sport mode, and if you do that, you will feel a little bit of difference in the performance. The engine does get a bit peppier, and the throttle response improves. In terms of ride and handling, I don't think you will have much to complain about. This seems to be quite sorted out. The ride is nice and comfortable, while the handling isn't too bad, especially if you're not going to push it around a corner too hard. In In terms of safety, the Bolt comes with ABS, which is the 9th generation from Tata, which means that it has improved significantly, and the Bolt also has EBD and corner stability function, which should help the car to be stable around corners and of course handle much better. And these features are not only something which are very welcome as it makes the car all that much safe, but also considerably adds value and should make this an attractive buy for all those who are looking for a safe car. More so as these features are not present in most cars in this segment. As in the case of the Zest, in the Bolt 2, Tata Motors has ensured that your life becomes very comfortable and you have access to all the conveniences once you step inside the car. And I'm really impressed with the list of features they're offering on this car. Mounted in the central console here is this 5-inch display, and it is this display here which is actually the heart of the matter here. It gives you not only all the information, but it also is functional in the sense that if you touch it, it's a touch screen, you can access the air conditioning, you can also access the navigation and of course the sound system. And what is in addition to this car is the video playback system. If you sync in your smartphone, actually you can play the videos as well in addition to the audio. And the smartphone access here means that you can download all your smartphone data into this and play your favorite music as well as take your calls. Really convenient. The steering wheel too is here typically Tata, or what you get in the Zest, with chrome garnishing and multifunction buttons on it. And the instrumentation too is large dial, easy to read, and it has all the information displayed here very clearly. What I feel, however, can be improved is the fascia here. The fascia here looks solid, it's painted in black, but what I rather have preferred is a dual tone. Plus, I have a problem with the door pockets here. They are too narrow to permit you to hold a water bottle. And in a country like India, I keep on repeatedly saying we need places to keep our water bottles in. There is a bottle holder here, but I'd rather have something here where I can keep my big bottle of water. But other than this, it looks quite nice and quite well built, in fact. If the front looks fresh with projector headlamps, piano black finish grille and a trapezoidal air dam, then the rear of the car looks attractive too, with flame-shaped tail light, a sporty spoiler and blacked out C-pillar, which is very much a designer's favorite these days. And the Bolt sits on 15-inch wheels, which gives it a confident stance. Whether you prefer a sedan or a hatchback, I leave it to you. But for me, the hatchback works just as well because I like compact cars and I'm not exactly in the cargo hauling business, so I don't need that much space. I like my cars to park easily, so a hatchback is what I would opt for. But the fact is that Tata Motors, with the launch of the Bolt, has addressed two segments at one stroke, and that's a rather clever thing to do. But what you as a consumer get is even better, because here you are getting a hatchback with the drivability and a feature list of a sedan. And the feature list is what really impresses me. It's a long list, and if you look at the infotainment system, you know that we're not going to get this in any car in this segment. But what impresses me most is the fact that the car comes with dual airbags in the top trim, and airbags are something which are really hard to find in hatchbacks. So this is a big plus for the Bolt here. In fact, I find it hard to fault this Bolt here. It has got more strengths than weaknesses really. Of course, the build quality can be improved upon, and then there are little design elements like larger door pockets which should again be addressed. But then you get a car which is drivable, which has enough power, it looks pretty decent, and it tops virtually in terms of the feature list. And knowing Tata, I'm sure they're going to price it very competitively. So overall, with the launch of the Bolt, you will get a very useful, practical hatchback which should be great value for money. The Bolt will be launched early next year and expected to be priced lower than the 3-box Zest. And with the launch of the Bolt, customers will have another capable hatchback to choose from, with both the diesel and the petrol engine options.